Before the Lowrider show near Nuremberg, there's nothing for team boss Benny Herzog to do but wait. Herzog says he's eager to show off what he's been working on for months, yet at the same time, he adds, he's worried that it all might not go as planned. In the U.S., lowriders can jump nearly 2 meters high. No one has been able to do that in Germany yet. These four fellas want to change that. 2 cars, 4 men, 1 mission, breaking the German lowrider jumping record. And there are other competitors as well. Don't let the mild-mannered appearances fool you. These guys have been at the lowrider training camp for 3 months. Their goal for the Lincoln is to get up to 2 meters high on the front axle, says Benny.
Im Stand sowie beim Fahren dann auch.
They've got even bigger plans for Germany's first air rider, a Chevy. Herzog says he wants the Chevy to tip right over onto its side. But they've never done this with either car before. The boss says it's difficult. He doesn't know if the Lincoln will hold together and if the pickup will work at all. The guys don't have much time. The first lowrider has to be ready to go soon. Nitrogen is used to activate the air rider's shock mechanism. Technical expert Hans Hagen tells the boys to make sure to wear their team shirts with pride. But there's one thing the uniform can't hide. Monty says everyone is nervous and has the jitters. Hans gives some final directions. Don't try this at home. Hans Hagen says he's worried because the tanks are hot and the gas being fired into them is ice cold. He wonders if combining the two extremes so quickly could be problematic. The fellas put up to 200 liters of nitrogen into the Chevy's 4 tanks. The Lincoln gets a fraction of that. For these cars, nitrogen is a drug that boosts pump performance. With cars that only have to hop, it's used to trigger the first jump. Hans Hagen says a hose used to increase pump pressure has burst. Up to now, he adds, things have always worked without incident, so why does it have to break now, just before the show? He then decides that they just have to refill. They've spent 14,000 euros on the Lincoln and put 1,500 hours of labor into it as well. And now a measly 20-euro hose could prevent them breaking the European record. Hagen says normal pressure is 20 or 25 bar, but now it's at only 12, and the hose keeps breaking. Benny is philosophical. He says it may not work, but the car can be kept under control, so he'll give it his best shot. Benny takes an old-timer into the ring for a warm-up. The Cadillac is the first lowrider the guys from Franconia worked on. It hasn't yet been equipped with German hydraulic components. Electrical current from Benny's control box activates the hydraulic pumps. He's the one who decides when and how the caddy hops. In the battle of the lowriders, this old soldier doesn't stand a chance, but he's still good for getting everyone fired up. Now it's time for the next generation to make the scene. The record for hops on the front axle in the U.S. is still 70 inches. That's about 1.8 meters. Will 12 bar be enough to beat that? This one stands up straight, hitting the mark with ease. Benny has some words for the opposition and is a gracious, if somewhat repetitive record breaker. He thanks the home crowd. Now it's the problem child's turn. A broken axle meant they ran out of time to practice on the Chevy pickup, so no one knows if it'll take flight. And it's time. The pickup doesn't just get 2 wheels up, but all 4. But it still can't keel onto its side. The fellas have more work to do. Herzog says it's working, but some valves were stuck. He decides to lower the pressure for some parts. And rather than triggering the rear shocks first, they're going to go for the tip right away. This isn't just a premiere for Germany, but for all of Europe. They pump in a bit more nitrogen for the next round. But it doesn't work. The Air Rider can't hack the Major League trick, but the team is still pleased. Manny says things went fine. The jitters are gone and 2 nice gals bring him a drink. What more could he want? His teammate has trouble articulating and chalks it up to excitement. Thorsten says he's pleased, but wants more. He's determined to get the Chevy on its side. Then he says the compression Air Rider dancers exclusive to the U.S. were the model. He says he isn't going home until they get the Chevy on its side. Benny's hoping that the Air Rider will do better on asphalt than a gravelly surface. I'll blow out all the gas cylinders we have, says Herzog. He says he won't stop until the pickup is turned over. Hagen says they're doubling the voltage in the battery from 12 to 24 volts to strengthen the valves, making them able to withstand increased pressure and open. He says he hopes it works. They've given it their all. And over. The Chevy goes onto its door. Herzog dares the competition to top that trick.